16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo Genesis does.
16-bit arcade action.
You can't do this on Nintendo Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis.
Does.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade hits.
You can't do this on Nintendo Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't.
SEGA Genesis 2022. Having a lot of fun playing the Genesis, collecting for the Genesis. Grew up a Super Nintendo kid. Now, there were neighbors around the town that had a SEGA Genesis. One of them had the SEGA channel. So I'm familiar with this stuff, but I'm just really starting to get into it on my own. So this list is maybe kind of a little vanilla because these are the games I'm legit playing.
The good old SEGA Genesis. This console is a new love for me in 2022 because obviously I'm a Nintendo kid, I'm a Sony kid. I missed out on the Genesis, so I'm falling in love with it in 2022, and there's so many amazing games, so many amazing things that I just didn't play when I was a kid, so it's awesome to play now.
10 games in 2022 that we are playing on the SEGA Genesis, and we say this in every one of these episodes. This is not our top 10. These are just the games we would fire up if we would go into the game room this year that we're grinding on, that we love. Let's talk some SEGA Genesis and see if we can get it done in 10 minutes or less. Roll this damn thing.
This first game, I'm so glad we have it physical with the tattoo, The Punisher.
You ever heard of it? Punisher, if you play co-op, Nick Fury joins the scene, and they are ass-kicking machines. This is a little different than some beat-em-ups because there's guns. You can shoot people with guns, which is really awesome.
God, this game is freaking badass. There's button combos because like throwing grenades is a little tough, but once you get that down.
The game isn't really that tough. I think if you would sit down with your average beat-em-up player, you can probably take this game down in your first sitting, but that does not take away from the fact that this game is absolutely kick-ass.
The Punisher, we cannot stop playing it.
The Adventures of Batman and Batman and Robin. On the Genesis, I think it's the better game on the Genesis. There's kind of that debate of, is it better on Super Nintendo or the Genesis? The cool thing is, they're both good games in their own right.
I love Batman. Robin's alright, but if you're playing co-op, someone's got to play as him. This game is amazing. I love the art style. The music is incredible.
I think the Genesis one reminds me a little bit more of a run and gun than a beat 'em up. It's got some Contra vibes to it. When you're close enough to enemies, you can give them the old but you're mostly throwing items and the like.
This game is so freaking good. It's good single player, but it's great if Robin joins it. 2-player co-op, fantastic game.
And I love the Batman animated series. This game captures it really well. Beautiful, awesome music, kind of tough, really cool game. Love it, and we're playing a lot of it in 2022. Streets of Rage 3, another recent addition to the collection. It's a game we picked up at the Midwest Gaming Classic, which was really cool.
This game is really good, but the thing that bothers me about this game and this whole series is friendly fire. I know if you're good, you can split the screen and stuff, but sometimes I accidentally pick up my partner and I freaking hurt him.
Love the Streets of Rage series. Don't have a lot of seat time with Streets of Rage 3, so that's why it's on the list. I don't know that I like it any better or worse than the other ones in the series. It's pretty damn good. It's a little tougher, I think. But that just could be because I'm pretty new to it.
This game is still really good, and every time I play, I gotta play as Blaze. She's my girl. Great game.
I played this game a little bit when I was growing up with one of my buddies on the street that I lived on, but I haven't played it near as much as 1 and 2. Love Streets of Rage 3. It's just a hammer beat 'em up, and now that I'm thinking about it, that's 3 beat 'em ups in a row. But Streets of Rage 3 is really freaking good, and you should probably play it. Ooh, this next one, you are not going to see this one coming. A little indie release by Kai Magazine, I believe, in 2021 called Metal Dragon. It's a top-down run and gun game, mostly vertically scrolling, but it alternates. Some levels are side-scrolling. This game is really freaking badass.
It's like a Metal Gear Solid spoof, but then it's a top-down run and gun type game. This game is so badass, and when it does like the cutscenes that are like Metal Gear Solid, he's like cussing, and this game is really funny, but it plays pretty well.
I am a little frustrated that they didn't put like a strafe element in this game, so you can't just like side to side, but they are very forgiving. They give you a lot of extra life and things like that in this game. I found out about this game a while back. Retro Gamer Boy did a video on it, and I will put a little doodad right up here for that video if you want to check out more about this game. But I was like, I gotta have that. That's right up my alley. Not co-op. That's another thing I would give this game a ding on, but Metal Dragon for a 2021 Genesis release, pretty freaking good. You should check it out. If nothing else, watch some gameplay of it or something to see if it's up your alley.
We love our shmups, and Truxton is a badass shmup.
This game, I feel like the first 2 levels of this game, you're gonna be like, okay, I got this down. Not too shabby. Just wait, the game gets hard as hell. Beautiful game though.
There's a lot of areas where you can get pinched, and I'm like, should have known better. And then you start over and you get pinched again in that same spot, and that drives me nuts because that happens to me a lot when I play this game. But this game is badass. The laser gun or whatever it is, oh, so freaking cool.
I think this game may be a little overrated, but it's still really freaking good. There are some other shooters on the Genesis that throughout the years, but I've played them, so that's why I'm really into Truxton right now. Picked it up not that long ago, CIB.
There's multiple different weapons. You can pick up power-ups. You can pick up bombs. Oh, this game is beautiful. The music's freaking great.
There was another shooter that's going to be in our honorable mentions. It was really close to making the list, but Truxton made our list for games we're playing in 2022. And if you're a shooter fan and haven't played Truxton, what are you doing? Go check it out. Beautiful game. And I love the skull thingy, like the, special shot. We just can't stop playing this next one. No reason for us to keep playing it because we did a co-op no-death run. One of the greatest achievements in channel history. Contra Hardcore. We whooped this game's ass. And it was one of the best feelings I have ever had in gaming. Oh! We fucking got it! Oh! Yes! Yes! We hung too long on that last one.
Oh no, dude, I was so nervous.
Holy shit.
You ended with 6 lives. This game is badass. 1 to 2 player co-op run and gun fun.
And it's kind of like going back and just taking another hit off the old crack pipe. Contra Hardcore, arguably the best Contra in the series. Fight me. I'm sorry. I could be a prisoner of the moment. Love Contra Hardcore. This game, co-op, it will chew you up and spit you out, but man, getting it done. Again, personally, I don't know what Rob would say, but greatest gaming achievement I've ever felt. It gave me that rush that I had when I beat Tyson for the first time when I was 7 years old.
There's different characters, there's different paths, there's the music. This game is like a perfect run and gun co-op masterpiece. Contra Hardcore, can't say enough good things about it.
Contra Hardcore is one of the best games on the Genesis. This game's in no particular order because if it was, it would have been number 1. But we're just shooting from the hip. Contra Hardcore is badass. If you're a Contra fan and you haven't played it, that's a you problem.
Castlevania Bloodlines. I love the Castlevania series, and obviously they're all really good. Bloodlines is a new game for me though, because I played a ton of 1 through 3, 4 is really cool. So Bloodlines is sweet because it feels like a new Castlevania adventure in 2022, even though it came out freaking 30 years ago, which is absolutely insane.
Awesome Castlevania game. I think if you really had to get down to the nitty gritty, it's probably the second I don't think it's as good as Castlevania 4. But there's something about it, and I can't quite explain why I think this, but it almost reminds me more of the NES Castlevania games than Castlevania 4 does. Don't know why that is. Something about the aesthetic of the game, I almost feel like I'm playing those older games. It definitely looks better.
There's 2 different characters you can pick from, different stories, different weapons.
I love Castlevania Bloodlines. It's another recent pickup. A lot of these are. We got it CIB recently, and it doesn't disappoint. What's Konami doing with Castlevania? Come on, guys. Get your shit together. We need another Castlevania. I mean, the blueprint's there. Just follow it, make a new one. Not that tough. Shinobi 3. The return of the Ninja Master.
This is, I think, the only Shinobi game I've ever played personally, but I think it's great.
I don't know a ton about the Shinobi series, but I think it was Mega Dan 29. It's like, hey, you need to play Shinobi 3. It's badass. And then I was going through my local game store a few days later, and I was like, showing.
One thing that drives me nuts is you can run out of throwing stars or whatever the things that you throw, and then every time I run out, I feel like I'm just screwed. And then you die, and I'm sure there's ways to be like, oh, well, don't use them right away, and But either way, this game is freaking badass.
Getting screen cap for this took us a little while. Robert was the one playing, and he just kept on going and going and going. But nonetheless, Shinobi 3 on the SEGA Genesis is badass. Love it, and it's one of the games. We got a little stack of games we just kind of keep out because we're just playing here and there when we're editing and whatnot. That's more fun.
Another beat 'em up on our list. TMNT Hyperstone Heist.
If you just walked into a room and what are they playing? Oh, and you dip out, you might think it's Turtles in Time, but it's not. Very similar, done in the same art style, plays a lot like that.
It's a Turtles beat 'em up. It's so awesome, and there's no friendly fire. So I'm gonna say I like this better than Streets of Rage 3. Hot take, I know, but the friendly fire drives me nuts. This game is beautiful. I love the sprites, I love the artwork, the music.
You get re-energized because it's a different game than you knew growing up. I've played Turtles in Time so much. I know what the next level's gonna be. I know what the next bosses are gonna be. There's no surprises. It's still fun. But this is almost, you know, the way people feel about Shredder's Revenge that came out. It's like, oh, a new Turtles game. It's about time. I know it's not a new Turtles game, but it's kind of new to me within the last, 3 to 5 years.
It's just nostalgia. If you love the Turtles, if you love beat-em-ups, Hyperstone Heist is amazing.
This next game's title is just kind of an oxymoron. It's called True Lies. I don't even really know what that means, but I do know Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor, and he's in this game.
Get to the chopper. True Lies. This game is really unique, really funny.
It's a top-down action. It's kind of got an adventure, puzzly, room to room. You got to find different items. It just looks really cool. The characters in the game are just squatty and kind of chunky monkeys, and there's kind of like awesome game.
You can pick up different weapons. There's like a shotgun and a machine gun, and you feel like a badass when you're blowing people up with the shotgun. But then there's civilians, and you don't want to kill them. First time I played this game, I thought you killed everybody, and then I got a game over real quick.
We picked it up in a big collection we bought recently, and the guy we got it from was like, you need to play this game, and we've been playing it, and it's like, yep, we missed this one. What's the clock at? I don't even know. Did we make it? 10 minutes? I don't know. But love us some SEGA Genesis. Didn't grow up with it, but we freaking love it. Honorable mentions. We cut the honorable mentions down in this video a little bit comparatively to the other ones in this series. We're just going to go with 4 quick hitters. The shooter that almost made the list. We are playing it, but not as much as Truxton is Hellfire.
A shmup on the Genesis that was real close to making our list, but I think I like Truxton better. Hellfire is really cool, but there's some things that are frustrating about it.
Very, very unique game. You start off, and one may think to themselves, oh, they're just kind of copying what Gradius did. Not really. You have 4 shots that you can cycle through, and you got to use all 4 of them. There's no way you can't. You got just a straight ahead pew pew pew. You've got a 45 spread shot, shoots 45 bottom, top, back, out your ass, whatever. And then you got one that shoots straight down, and the one that shoots straight out the tailpipe, and you really have to cycle through those. It's a cumbersome mechanic, but when you start figuring it out, it is very rewarding. I think that mechanic is what makes this game hard. Cycling through that and landing on the right one when you're in panic mode. I don't know if shooters make you guys panic, make me panic a little bit. That makes Hellfire kind of difficult.
Rocket Knight Adventures. This game is an incredible platformer. One of my favorite parts about Rocket Knight Adventures is when you kill the enemies, their clothes fall off. Why do games do that? I don't know, but I love when games do that because it's just so funny. It makes it so childish and kiddie, and I laugh at it every time. This game was also so close to making our list. We've been playing this game for a couple years now, but still an incredible platformer.
Konami was on fire during the 16-bit era. Well, 8-bit era as well. Hell, they didn't really get off the wagon until the PS2 era. But anyway, Konami, Rocket Knight Adventure. Badass platformer. Gunstar
Heroes, another awesome run and gun game, co-op. This game is sweet because you can pick, different guns and different things. There are some weird, frustrating parts in this game that I can't really explain, and it's not user error. I feel like it's just game error. Sometimes I get really mad for no reason when I play this game, but it's still really fun, especially co-op.
And I've heard people say it's better in Contra Hardcore, and you are freaking drunk if you think that. Gunstar Heroes is cool. Contra Hardcore looks at that game though and is like, here, son, hold my beer.
And then Dinosaurs for Hire. This game is badass. A run and gun Contra style game, but you're dinosaurs. And what's cool is you can pick as different dinosaurs that have different guns.
Now it doesn't have the polish. It's not as good as Contra, but this is just a hidden gem. We've liked this game for a long time. Recently finally got it physically. We've always been able to kind of emulate it. But Dinosaurs for Hire is really cool. I think if you're a Contra fan and you've been through all the Contra games and you're like, I need another run and gun fix. And today, I feel like a dinosaur. Check it out. Dinosaurs for Hire. Bam.
The one thing that's frustrating about this game, I'm sure single player this game is great. But when you're doing co-op, the platforming is frustrating because if someone jumps and you fall off the screen, it hurts you and then it takes away your life. And it's just really hard. You got to work together when you jump and platform in this game. It's frustrating if you play with another person because you just accidentally kill them all the time. But Dinosaurs Run and Gun, how can you say no to that? It's a badass freaking game.
There you have it, SEGA Genesis. Games we're playing in 2022 in the comment section below. Let us know what games are you playing in 2022 on the old SEGA Genesis. let us know. We like finding new games just like everybody else. So we haven't played everything. I love when we get comments on these videos. How didn't you mention this game? These are games we're playing in 2022. I don't know how many games you can play in 2022. You can't play every game in the Genesis library in 2022. Hell, we haven't even probably heard of all the games in the Genesis library. So those type of comments just make me smile.
What console do you guys want to see us do next? We're slowly chipping away through every console in the game room, so what's going to be next? Who knows?
The Genesis makes me smile. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid.